Hi, Cornerstone family. On Sunday, we were encouraged by Jeff Dawkins to share something cool that God's been doing, and I just wanted to share something really cool that happened to me on the 23rd of May, and it goes along with just our daily reading. So, when I was a young girl, I was somehow impressed upon that I needed to read my Bible. But I would go like this. When I was a little kid, I'd be like, I don't know what to read, and I'd like open my Bible and go, oh, this looks like a good place to read. So it was very random, very like no plan. I just would open my Bible, read something, and then put it away. I wouldn't journal. I wouldn't take it to heart. So from Cornerstone, Doug spends about an hour a week, and I'm not sure if you know this, but he spends about an hour a week prayerfully picking and choosing daily readings, daily passages that go along with the messages. So as you're reading during the week, it's like you put this filter on, like these, I was trying to find these glasses that you could wear, these funny glasses, to go. So every time I read my Bible during the week, the daily reading, I can look back and go, okay, what did we talk about on Sunday? So I have on the top of every journal page, I write the question of the day right here, because I want to be reminded, okay, what was the question that we talked about? My notes from Sunday are in here. And then every morning when I read my daily reading, which is, I read it right in the spot, that's why I wanted to do this video right here. Every morning that I read my daily reading, I go, okay, so this week we talked about, and the question of the day for Jeff was, so this morning I read, how do we build God's kingdom through relationships? So as I'm reading the daily reading, I'm thinking, okay, how does today relate to relationships? So let me jump back. So last week, I am also reading the Bible in a year as it was written historically. So it jumps around, and then it ends in, like the Old Testament ends in 2nd Chronicles. So it's not the normal like page 1 to page whatever. So this, on the 23rd, I was starting Ezekiel, and I was really caught by this verse in Ezekiel in chapter 1, verse, and I don't have my glasses on, verse 23, where Ezekiel was talking about verse 24. And when they went, I heard the sound of their wings, like the sound of many waters, like the sound of the Almighty, a sound of tumult, like the sound of an army. And I just thought, I was struck by that. I thought, what is that? The sound of many waters. And I was meditating on that, like, what does that sound like? And I don't know if you've been by any rushing water before, but you can't really hear stuff going on around you. And so Ezekiel was saying God is almighty, like he's going to come like the sound of rushing waters. So I spent some time on that verse, just meditating on it. And then my pattern is to read my like the Bible in a year, and then I go and I read, and then I write what I'm thankful for on the start of my journal, and then I read the daily reading. And so the daily reading that day was Revelation. It was Revelation chapter 19, and the question of the week that week was, how do I look to the coming King? So I've got my little filter on, going, how do I look to the coming King? And I'm just going to turn it to you I'm going to turn real quick to it. Revelation 19:6 says, and this is written 600 years apart from Ezekiel. So Ezekiel and Revelation are written 600 years apart. Revelation 19:6 says, then I heard what seemed to be the voice of a great multitude. I don't know why this makes me emotional. Like the roar of many waters, and like the sound of mighty peals of thunder crying out. And so, just like it touches me right now, this is so funny. I should not do videos. Just like how it touches me right now, I sit in this spot so many days going, Lord, you met me again here. So what are the chances of me reading in Ezekiel, which is not a very well-known and well-read book, and in the same day I read the exact same verse, like the same wording, and it's the same concept of God. So with my little filter, with my daily reading glasses, I go, so how do I look to the coming King? So my journal that day was, and at my title, and I'll just say my title was Faithful, True, and Mighty. And guys, we just need to know that God is powerful. I needed to know that day, that God is powerful, that He's mighty, and that He's gonna come like a roar, like a peal of thunder. And so this not only was something to share about how God touched me personally, but I'm just begging you to take the time to filter. Okay, so what did we talk about on Sunday? What am I reading today in God's Word? How does it apply to me? And He'll do crazy things like this. And I know it might not seem like a huge deal to you, but for that moment in that day, it was huge to me. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and really encourage you to take the time, 5, 10, 15 minutes, to do the daily reading and to connect it back. And then even call somebody, hey, what did you get out of today's reading? Text somebody, hey, what did you get out of it? How did God speak to you? And just use it as a way to encourage each other, because we all need the encouragement. So anyway, thanks for listening.